And you're welcome back to the Pulse. Let's go back to our earlier story indicating what it is that the Finance Ministry has been saying about the reintroduction of road tolls. A statement released a couple of hours ago today indicates that the final modalities are being worked out on this. And I was just indicating earlier that the attention of the Ministry of Finance has been drawn to that leaked letter we've seen on social media indicating that the Finance Ministry and the Roads and Highways Ministry will reintroduce road tolls. Now, the letter sought to convey proposed rates for the tolling of roads and highways to the Ministry of Roads and Highways as part of a broader consultation on the revenue generation policy. Now, similarly, government is indicating that it is consulting with other relevant stakeholders and inputs will be considered before the final implementation on the modalities at the road toll. So, on the issue of the road toll. So, one of the critical stakeholders is the Toll Workers Union. They used to manage this point before that directive was given to abolish the collection. Joining me now is one of the, actually two of the leading figures of that group, Edward Duncan and Henry Dogwe. Henry Dogwe used to be the chairperson of the group until, of course, the unfortunate incident. And Edward Duncan has been constant on our show, making a case for a reintroduction because many of you, Edward, as you indicated to us the other time, many of your members had lost their jobs as a result of this. When you heard about the reintroduction, what came to mind?
Well, first of all, thank you for the opportunity again. And also to take the opportunity to say hello to all the toll workers of Ghana. As we have already said, we always say that we believe that the government decision to close down tolls was the wrong one. And so when we heard or we saw this letter in the media space, we thought that finally the government had listened to what we have already said, always been saying that there was no point in closing down tolls. Indeed, the reasons which the government gave for which they wanted to close toll, we proposed in our, what's it called? Excuse me. Yeah. Proposed in our petition that we sent to them that you could solve all these problems without closing down the tolls and rendering about 800 of your citizens jobless. Right. So, for instance, when you said pollution, we said you could solve the issue of pollution. And when you said that traffic situation. Yes. We also propose that you can open the toll gates. You can add a number of toll gates so that the traffic situation will ease. So we are happy that finally the government has seen reason in what we have said all this while, and then they are reintroducing the tolls. Okay,
Henry, the issue about consultation, because the Finance Ministry is indicating clearly to us that they are yet to finalize the modalities, but consultations are underway. Have you been called? I don't know, either of you. Have you been called just to find out if you're ready, your members are ready to return to these tolling centers? What's the situation? Have you been reached out to?
Oh, no, we've not been reached out. But since the news came into the media, we actually consulted some people to engage. Right. So since yesterday and today, we're going for some engagements. To know how far was the plan towards the business.
So some engagements have started?
Yeah, we've started some engagements.
Okay.
We've not completed it. So right now, what we are thinking is if the toll is being reintroduced, they should just employ all the workers who were working there before the closure. Because the closure did not come from the workers. It was a government policy to close the toll so as to get the target of e-levy. Right. Yeah. So they sacrificed the toll for e-levy. So if they are bringing it back, and then we are sure that they have to actually employ all the 800 workers because we are
800 in number. That's the total number. Yes, 800. So you want all 800 back at post?
Maybe if they have their jobs already, if some of them have gotten jobs, or some have traveled, or maybe some have even died, as we actually said. Right. That one is different thing. But they are in the house. Most of them are there doing nothing. And you know, this economic crisis and how things are now getting tougher and tougher. So that's the main reason why we have been chasing the minister and the president for so long, that the situation on the grounds is very serious. So they should try and reintroduce the toll. Because the bargain that they will close the toll, they will reassign all the workers. They will be paying us until we are being assigned did not actually fulfill their bargain.
Right.
Yeah.
So you want all 800 to be reinstated.
Yes.
Edward, would that be an easy task? Do you have, first of all, data on all those who were working there prior to the closure of the tolling booths? And 800 of you, what if the contract has been given to a new person? What then happens? Are you certain that this will be an easy task?
Well, we believe that it should because, I mean, first of all, the records of our members, we do have them. And then we believe that it should be easy. I mean, we're dealing with the government with all the powers and all the resources at its disposal. And then it is also based on a promise that was given to us. You know, you said you're going to close the tolls, but you're going to reassign us. So we believe that you have all the resources, you know where and all the resources that you have to reassign us. So let's say, for instance, I mean, we've waited for all this while, about 17 months, you've not reassigned us. Now you've changed your policy direction. Okay, you're bringing back the toll. So naturally, one would expect that since you're bringing back the toll, where we were before, but through no fault of ours, you decided to close it. Now you've changed your mind. So if you're bringing it back, ideally, you should bring all of us.
Yeah, but I'm asking the question, and of course, Chairman made the point that there are 800 of you. You want everyone back. But what if the contract is given to someone else? Because some of the tolling booths, as you were indicating to us earlier, were managed by a private facility on behalf of government. So if that circumstance changes, you may not be guaranteed jobs.
The thing is, the toll collection was abolished. It was actually abolished. But through our engagements, if like we didn't put in inputs, it will not come back again. Most Ghanaians and the journalists, I mean, especially the journalists, they did best. They did very good for us. And before this job is coming back. So why is it that if the people who work for the work will come back and then you neglect them and go and take another?
Yeah, but it can happen. And that's why I'm asking the question.
And when it happens that it means we are not in normal this thing. Actually, I don't know how to put it. It means the system is not working. Because we are Ghanaians and you are working, you didn't do anything by the whole government-owned policy. I'll give you a different job so as you close this one. The government didn't give you any job. And you actually went to him that he should consider his decision to bring back the job because you are home doing nothing. And the job is brought back. And now when the job is being brought back, they will ask you that you will not come. They will go and employ a different person. It doesn't make sense.
Eddie, I guess this is where consultations must take place. Have you started? Have you reached out to the Transport or the Roads and Highways Ministry already on this?
Yes, we have. Even today, we went to the ministry. But unfortunately, we couldn't see the minister. We went to Parliament as well to meet some of the parliamentarians. We did see some of them, but not the key members that we wanted to see. So that's it. But as Chairman was making a point, I mean, it all depends on the government. How sensitive the government will be to and how they want to fulfill their promise to us. So the facility, which is a toll facility, is for the government. So say the government, you want to give it to a private contractor, all you tell them is that, okay, I'll give you this facility to manage, but I have my workers. I have made a promise on them that I'm going to find them jobs. I have not been able to find a job. So as I'm giving you this contract, I'll give you workers to work with. After all, we're already trained, we have experience. If we don't get to be employed, anybody who is going to be employed has to be trained again. You will need resources to do that training. So to save the private contractor all the hassle and then they're going to find the resources and all that, these are the people who are already trained, experienced. So use them to do your job. I believe that this is the case that the government has to make for us so that all of us can get our jobs back.
Okay, but what was the promise before? The promise before was that you would be reassigned.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're seeking to re-engage. So it's not even promised that all these 800 persons will get their jobs back.
The initial stage, they said we built until we are all reassigned. Okay. Once you are in the house, they'll be looking for a job opportunity for you. When you get the opportunity, then you go and start your work. But before you start, they'll be paying you until you are being engaged. And you know, this is what we're expecting, but it didn't happen. So we wrote back to the government that it was a promise that we will be reassigned for a different job. We didn't get that. So if possible, we know the crisis now. It's a global crisis. Yeah. So if so, the toll point it's also generating money. So we should let us go back and then manage that place.
Okay.
Yeah. So through that, and then if government was able to consider those ideas, and the thing is coming back. That's why I'm saying automatically then is the workers,
all your members must come back.
Must come back.
I'm interested in the meetings that happened today. You were just successful at the one that happened in Parliament.
Yeah, we went there,
Yeah, okay.
but you know, because of since there is some serious meetings going on today.
Okay.
Yeah, it was when we called, we booked an appointment to meet. But when we got there, they were having the different meetings and another thing. So they asked us to stay, and then appointment different places too. We have to leave and go to different places and another thing. So
Okay, so Eddie, what that means is that you've been moving around to engage critical stakeholders ahead of this reintroduction.
Yes.
What are you seeking to do through that engagement?
Well, first of all, and like Chairman said, it's a good thing that the media is helping us. It is sometimes it's a bit difficult if you want to try and get some of the authorities to speak with. As I speak to you now, there's a letter at some of the offices. We're seeking to engage some of the ministers, and it's been about 6 months and we've not made any headway. But we believe that when we come on your shows and shows like this and we speak, they hear us and then they heed to what we're saying. So we've been to different, like I said, we've been to Parliament. We were able to, we didn't meet the key people that we wanted to meet, but we met some people and we've had discussions. So we're working on it. See, the bottom line is that the government has to really be a bit sensitive to us. Our situation is dire. Our members are going through a lot of hardship, hard times, and so we plead with authorities to listen to us. I mean, we're all Ghanaian citizens. We're in a situation. It was through no fault of ours that toll collection was closed. It was your policy. You changed it. Now you're coming back. So give us our jobs back. That's all we are saying.
Okay. When you met the MPs, are you willing to put their names out? When you met them, what are you seeking to put across to members of Parliament through them?
Because they are our legislatures and we've sent a petition to them and all that, we're seeking for them to speak on our behalfs. They're supposed to help, your citizens to feel comfortable in the country. So we're seeking for them to speak on our behalfs. We've engaged, in the past we've engaged, I can mention some of their names because they've helped us, they've encouraged
over
us.
the years.
Yes, Honorable Govins Kwame Abuja, we've met Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim. I don't want to go to the majority side because a lot of the majority MPs have also supported us, and they don't really understand the closure in the first place. So, but I don't want to put their names out there. The minority, Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim, and the likes. All of them, and they are willing to support the cause so that we'll all go back to work.
So now the ultimate aim is to have all 800 of you come back to
those who have already got their jobs.
Their jobs. Okay, so some have their jobs already, so you'd have to take that out, Chairman? In case they have something else to do. But how about the revenue measure itself? The Finance Ministry says they are yet to determine the amount, the modalities for how this one will be rolled out. Do you have a fine idea? Because you are making the recommendation for the reintroduction of the tool 6 months ago or some months ago when I was engaging you. Do you have an idea of how we should be rolling that out now?
Actually, this thing is somehow dicey.
Okay.
Because the toll operation for about 13 to 14 years now, there has not been any increments in it. Since 2010, that those increments came. 1 CD, 50 pesos and other business. So it should be, they should adjust the price.
It should go up?
It should go up. Because 13 years ago, 1 CD is not the same as 1 CD today. But the actual price, unless it goes to Parliament. But the one we saw on the social media, I suggest that price is somehow
too high?
It's too low.
Okay.
Too low. Because when you compare the toll gates in Ghana, especially, I don't have a problem with the saloon cars and the 4x4. The trucks, the tipper trucks and the trucks, the trailers, they are the major cause of the road damage to the roads. And those cars, the amount they are paying in Ghana, when you compare to our neighboring countries, is far below. You go to Burkina Faso, you are paying like almost 80 Ghana cedis, 98 Ghana cedis for
using
tour. And you come to Ghana here, you pay 2 cedi 50 pesos. And the most annoying thing, when they are passing Ghana here, look at the load that they carry. When they get to the border, they offload. And then before they move on their road, they have been damaging our roads, but they pay less. So at least when they are doing the rates, they should consider all those things. As for Trotro and the saloon cars, they are in the system.
Right.
Their weight is not so much distance. They can consider that. But the trucks, the tipper trucks and the trailers, at least they have to adjust their price. I'm not actually happy the rates which they quoted for the trailers and the tipper
Well,
trucks.
at least the finance ministry says it's not conclusive. So let's see what will happen on that. But as we wrap up, Edward, what's going to be the next phase? How about your members? Are you meeting again? Are you likely to do some further meetings with all of your members across the country?
Yes, we do. Actually, because of technology, it's easy. We don't actually physically meet, but we do most of our meetings online. Yeah, so we'll meet. Whatever that goes on. I mean, this letter that came, this document that came, there was a buzz on our page. Everybody wants to know what is happening and all that. That is why there's been a need for us to come out and see what is happening. So we're going to meet. Like when you started, the communicator has come out from the ministry to say that this was a leaked document and all that, So we'll hold it there. But we'll admonish the media, please. If now the ministry is saying you can come to them for information, we wish that you will go to them for information regarding our state as former toll booth workers. What is our state? Because it feels like some of the ministries, when you get there, you can't make any headway. You try to engage some of the authorities, but sometimes there's a little,
It's challenging meeting them.
Yes.
So you've been trying to meet officials of the Roads and Highways Ministry for the past...
For now, I can say for about 6 months.
For the past 6 months,
we have a letter
been able to
the
meet
minister. We've asked for audience with the honorable minister, but it's not forthcoming. Most of the time you get there, he's not around. Sometimes you get there, he's busy in meetings. Before you know, he has left the office and all that. So that is, we try the finance ministry and all that. It's not been easy. So yeah, please, media people, you can take this up for us, please, and find out what is happening with us, the workers.
Well, and probably I should give the final words to you, Chairman. Obviously, you'd want to speak to those in authority. The TV is a powerful tool as well to send your message across. So if the roads minister is watching, what's your you want Edward to do that on your behalf? What will be that message to those in authority?
All right. The thing is that I want them to understand that we are not fighting anybody. We are not fighting the system. Ours is just survival. How do we survive? How do we take care of our families? How do we take care of our dependents? Most of our members are in dire conditions. Some of them are, we've said this countless number of times, marriages are broken, a lot of hardship that we are going through. So we plead with them, please, you're bringing back the toll. You're seeing reason in what we said from the beginning. You're bringing back the tolls. So we plead, make sure that we'll all go back to work. I mean, there are other conversations that we could have regarding issues that have to do with automation and all that. We can have that on another day. But all we're saying is that there is automation that can require the service of, let's say, 50 people. There are different categories of automation. Some can require the service of 50 people. The same automation system can require maybe the service of 20 or 5. So as a government, with your high unemployment level, if you're going in for an automation, ideally you shouldn't choose the one that will take only 5 people. Go in for the one that could take 50 people so that you can employ all of us and reduce your unemployment level in the country.
And of course, that's Edward Duncan and also Henry Dogwe. They are leading members of the Road Toll Workers Union. We are still awaiting some finality on this from the Ministry of Finance.